Hi, this is Gil Robles, and I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. It hasn't been a while since I've worked. I'm always working. I'm trying to do something on a daily basis. That's one of the things that I remember from a teacher I had in high school who taught that, if you really want to get good at this, you're going to have to do it every day. And that's what I've tried to live by. It's just like making sure that every day I make some kind of notation at least, and I try to draw or paint from life. Now, just recently I went to a drawathon at my old high school, and I really discovered how out of practice I am from drawing from life. I've talked about it, and I've preached about it really, how important it is to paint and to draw from life. And I realized that I needed a lot more of it than I've been doing. On occasion, I do draw on the trains, and I draw the people sitting down on the trains, but it's not the same thing as taking the time to paint and to observe very carefully and resolve, because when you're working on the trains, and you're drawing and sketching someone on the train, you don't really have the time to resolve the drawing. You're just making a quick notation. But when you're taking the time, like right now I'm taking a class where I'm painting and drawing from the model, and then you have time to observe, to correct, to change, and like I'm pretty much doing here. Even though, like I said, I'm working from a photograph. This is a not a very good photograph that I took from my iPad, but it works. I mean, part of it is that, whatever the photograph doesn't have, or whatever is difficult to look at, to resolve from the photograph, I'm really applying my imagination, or my memory, and working at it. Now, there's some things that you can do. Like, one of the biggest things, or one of the biggest challenges for me, is to start the painting more concerned about the beginning and laying down of the large masses of light and dark than I am about the details, about trying to paint the eyes, the nose, and the so forth. I'm really just laying down large masses of light and dark, and then trying to let that lead me into the more particular details. But I'm not trying to do the details first. Now, I've always talked about that, but one of the things is that I can share is that it is a challenge for me to do that, to look for the simplest forms first, and to not get involved in all these little features and stuff like that. Because what painting is really a series of corrections. What it is that you lay down just very general information, and set about to refine your image, to start from the very broad, and then to get very particular as you go along. But you don't necessarily paint making mistakes, but you paint making a general statement, and then after that general statement, you refine that statement, and then within those refined details, you're going to make corrections, adjustments here and there, and as you build up your image, so that everything sits right. But it can only sit right if you start it right to begin with, and then you can let all those little details fall into place as you go along. You're not so concerned with where everything sits at the beginning. You're more concerned with broadly where everything sits at. And when I mean, not with the details. Like the hat, I painted the hat, and I tried to remember when an instructor of mine talked about the Rembrandt self-portrait that's in the Metropolitan Museum. He has a black cap on, and it's basically a shape. Light hitting it just enough to show that it's a hat, but he's not trying to draw too much attention to it. Same thing I try to do with this hat over here. I draw the general shape, One side of it, the side with his ear, is more of a dark mass in his shape. On the left, on the right side of the painting, where the light is hitting it a bit, I drew I pulled out just a little bit of detail, just enough to let you know that that's a hat. So I'm not trying to do too much all over the place. I'm just trying to emphasize what's most important. Not going after every little detail. And to be honest, the photograph I took didn't leave me with too much detail to go after. And I just want to say that also, when I went to that drawathon, and now I'm attending the class, the ability to paint from life helps you to make decisions on what to emphasize, what to de-emphasize, like the hat that I was talking about. Rather than suggest all the details, and the beard too. You see, I'm working at here now. I mean, I started it from very, very broad, and right now I'm trying to just give enough detail to give you an idea of the texture of the beard. And you see the shirt. I really, really have not put much detail in that shirt at all. Another thing, when you paint from life, there's so many different things to recall. And sometimes when you work from a photograph, a photograph emphasizes everything. You have to make up your mind from the photograph what to leave as detail and what to leave as just a very, very broad statement. Like if you look at his neck, I'm not putting a lot of detail in his neck. I'm just it's not something that you're going to draw attention to. Same thing with the shirt and the hat, and I'm just really much putting the detail, or really concerned, I guess, with the eye, where the light is hitting it the most. And I'm starting from there, and everything else is not as emphasized as much as that area. And I guess it's just following the pattern of the light, but really you don't need to detail everything. Everything just has to just be enough to help you to understand what's there. Now, there are people who do put in every little detail and stuff like that, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a painting like that. All I'm saying is, for myself, and as an artist, I'd like to make the decision to direct the eye of the viewer. It's your painting. You decide what you want him to look, or what you want the person to look at in your painting, and you do it by the choices that you make. And over here, where I decided to emphasize especially the areas where the light struck, and where everything is in shadow, I try to let it meld together more, so that you're not really you're not really paying attention to every particular detail, but it works together as a whole unit, as a whole painting, rather than just a rendering of everything. Alright, well, it's nearly finished. We're coming to the end of this painting, and I hope that you enjoyed. Please leave comments. I enjoy when people do make comments. I do my best to get to them as best as I could. Thank you for everyone who's shared my videos. Delighted that you've enjoyed them. I appreciate the fact that that you show your appreciation. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Take the time to. Like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this, because I do my best to keep up with this and to improve on a daily basis. And that's it. There's the finished painting. Again, leave your comments, subscribe, and if you want, I also have a blog, artinthebusyworld.blogspot.com. Please join me there as well. Thank you so much.